This is WIUR Radio.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is episode 7 of the show, Killian's Plastics Talk Football Tactics, also known as soccer. We always going to mention that. I am here today with Darren.
Hello.
And Gabe.
Hello.
Two common guests of ours. So we got a lot to talk about. This week we had El Clasico. If you don't know what that means Barcelona and Real Madrid, probably the two biggest football teams in the entire world, played against each other. We'll talk about that game. We'll talk about the Premier League, some of the results that happened over the weekend, our predictions from last week, and then we'll talk about this upcoming weekend's fixtures and what we think is going to happen for those. So we got an interesting show going. We'll start it off, something that is a topic very important to you, being El Clasico, considering you're a Barcelona fan. What did you think? Obviously, if you don't know, Real Madrid beat Barcelona 2-1. Goals from Killian Mbappe, who's on fire. Goals from Jude Bellingham, and Fermin Lopez scored for Barcelona. What do you think of your performance?
Overall, I wasn't too fond of the performance, especially that first half. That first half, we did get dominated. They had multiple opportunities. We also had a lot of blown calls from the ref. They kept Real Madrid had a lot of chances, and the refs blew a lot of offside calls in their favor. That Mbappe volley, though, what a finish, I must say.
I mean, honestly, does the offside rule matter? Just let the goal count. That is insane. That goal, I saw it, and I was like, why is no one talking about this? Because I didn't get to watch the game live. I was playing in the game at that time, and I look at the highlights, and I see that go in. I'm like, why is my entire internet not full with this goal? This is one of the best goals of the year. It was offside, so he did still score a good goal, Mbappe. It was a good goal.
Like I said, just first half, we were just not up to par. Second half, we played better. We had our chances. We just couldn't take them. Like the Koundé opportunity in the 90th.
Yeah.
Missed touch there. Fermin, he took the ball the whole way, the whole length of the pitch, and then he decided to shoot it when he was in a 3-2 opportunity. He had Rashford to his left, Ferran to the right. Let's not talk about Ferran, though. Preferably go to Rashford. I think Rashford would have had a better shot. And just overall, just was not up to par. We are missing significant players in attack. Rafinha's presence is very, very missed. We are lacking that runner in attack. Like I said, Rashford has done very good, but he's not that runner. He's more of a carrier, pace and space type player, but he hasn't really made those runs in behind that Rafinha would make.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Barcelona is last season your attack was incredible, and you have a lot of talent that's yet to come back, so I doubt that will be an issue. The only thing I look at you guys, and last season, the problem with Barcelona is the amount of goals you guys conceded and how vulnerable you guys were at times on the break. The thing with that is I think you guys will be more vulnerable at the moment just because your star center back partnership that worked really well was Inigo Martinez and Pau Cubarsí, and Inigo Martinez left. So what do you think is your best center back partnership? Because your two best center backs might not be the best partnership, and I feel like you guys are struggling to figure out what that best balance should be.
Well, I just think there's a lot of issues in defense right now. I think the only nailed-on starter has got to be Balde. Koundé has not been up to par, at least since the Newcastle game, and really all season. He has not been up to par. I would like to see Eric shifted back out to the right. Does Cubarsí, he has on and off games, but I think our current best partnership has got to be probably Cubarsí and Christensen, but the problem is Christensen is never fit.
Yeah, I mean, that's an issue. Would you guys be open to getting someone in the January transfer window? Because obviously, I don't know if you guys have enough funds, but it is an issue center back. And if you guys want to challenge for La Liga or the Champions League, I don't know if you guys have a good enough defense, at least for the Champions League. I don't know. And last year, defense was an issue. That's the reason you guys didn't win it, even though you were close. So I really don't know. But we'll move on to a big talking point. Spanish superstar, Spaniard right there to my left as well, Lamine Yamal, who's been getting a lot of criticism. He did not have his best game by far against Real Madrid, even though you mentioned that Koundé chance. It was a great pass from Yamal, But the thing with Yamal, he's still so young, and people's expectations of him are so high. The reason for that is because that boy loves to talk. He loves to trash talk. He loves to wind up opponents. And it backfired. He was talking about, oh, all this is going to happen. Last time we beat Madrid 4-0. We'll see if it happens again. And they went on to lose. So the thing with Yamal is a lot of people are like, when he does like to trash talk, and it's paid off in the past. He's trash talked previous years against Madrid, and they've won. And after it happens, they're like, oh my gosh, Lamine Yamal, he talks, he says this is going to happen, then he backs it up. And people are like, that's so amazing of him. That's so cool. And they love to see it. But then as soon as he trash talks and they lose, then everyone's like, oh, look at him. He's got an ego, this, and that. I feel like people have to choose one or the other. You either like the trash talking or you either don't like it at all. You can't be like, oh, when he loses, it's good, and when he wins, it's not. You got to choose one or the other.
Well, nowadays, with the way that the internet works, everybody is so reactionary
Mhm.
that regardless of whether or not they like it or otherwise, they're just going to say, oh, Barcelona loses. Yamal talked way too much. He shouldn't be doing this and that. Whereas if they win, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe Lamine Yamal is saying all of this and then going out and backing it up in El Clasico. Like, it goes both ways. The problem is with the internet, you're never really going to get the kind of parity down the middle. It's always going to be extremes.
Yeah.
And with Yamal being such a talented player that he is, it always is going to make sense for him to talk because that's always been how he goes about his way of playing soccer. He always kind of talks, and most of the time it ends up working.
I mean,
It's just some of the few times recently it hasn't been.
yeah. I mean, the thing with Yamal is you can look at certain players and the way they play kind of says they have an ego, which honestly, for me, I think that's a good thing because when a player knows he's the best, he plays a different way. Like, even for a small example, if I'm playing in a game and I'm looking around and I feel like I'm better, able to do. If I look around and I see I'm better than a lot of players on the field, I'm gonna do things I wouldn't try. Whereas if I'm playing a game and I don't think I'm as good as some of the other players, if that makes sense, you know what I mean?
100%. I mean, that's part of Yamal's game is his confidence. He
Yeah.
thinks that he's better than everybody else out there. Therefore, he tries more outrageous things, and you see that happen every game.
He's got
And the
the skill
majority
to
of
do
the
it.
time, it works out.
Mhm. So, I mean, that's the thing. We'll see. The question I have for you as a Spaniard supporting the Spanish national team, there's a lot of rumors that this is going to divide up the Spanish national team because you have players like Danny Carvajal, who's a right back for Spain, obviously Lamine Yamal, two different teams, Barcelona and Real Madrid, and the players are fighting. There's a fight towards the end of the game. Is this going to divide the two?
I would hope not because there's been so many other talented Spanish teams where people have gotten in fights. I think there's photos of Puyol and Sergio Ramos fighting each other during their times at Madrid and Barcelona, and then they
Yeah.
would come through for the Spanish national team and look like they were best buddies.
Mhm.
At some point, you do have to realize that it is just a game. And while it is a rivalry and you would want the heated moments, in no world should a heated moment like that cause serious disruption within a national team, especially with players like Carvajal, who's been around for so long and who who Lamine Yamal got an assist to during their game versus Croatia in the Euros. Like, I can't imagine that having them be like some kind of feud that would carry on into the national team. I strongly doubt that would be the case because it's proven that even when there's been the kind of big rivalries like that in the past,
Mhm.
they've always been able to kind of get beyond that for the better of the Spanish national team.
The thing I will say about that is you never know because it's a different generation of players.
That also.
The past, there was lots of fights, as you mentioned, with Real Madrid and Barcelona players during that Pico Classico where Messi and Ronaldo were around. And those Spanish players, for the two sides, they were able to come together and were able to win 2 Euros and a World Cup for Spain. One of the best ever national team sides. Everyone can probably agree they're one of the best during that time period. But it does depend. It hasn't happened before for Spain, but in England, for example, this was very much the case. There's examples of players like Wayne Rooney, who played for Man United, Steven Gerrard for Liverpool, Frank Lampard for Chelsea. And once those players retired, they all said that they never felt like they were one coerced unit that they all felt like when they sat, for example, went to go eat lunch, you had a Liverpool table sitting there, Man United, like they were all divided within the same team. So I don't know if this will be the case for Spain. They've already won a Euros recently, so they should all have a good connection. And I would say Spain should still be up there with a favorite for winning this upcoming World Cup. But we'll have to see. You don't know. It's all hindsight. We can't really tell what's going to happen.
100%. I mean, I still think they're going to be one of the best national teams for the next few coming years. But God forbid there is a split, then you never really know what could happen.
Yeah. But talking about Real Madrid quickly, Xabi Alonso's having them play pretty well. I thought last season their performances were not that great when I watched them. But this year, they look like they're ticking. Mbappe is on complete fire. That goal he scored that was offside was amazing. The goal he scored was very good. He got a lot of other good chances too. And Bellingham's looking good. That assist to Mbappe, very good assist. And then, like he did in many seasons before, he comes up with a goal. I know people make fun of him for being a tap-in, but a goal is a goal. So, and Vinicius Jr., a lot of controversy because he was crying. He was really upset. Well, not physically crying, but he was being a baby, you could say, because he was getting subbed off, which, to be fair to Vinny, I make fun of him a lot. He had a great game. He was really good. Was he debatably man of the match, even without a goal? I think he might have been. He was
No.
You still would have to give it to a player like
No,
Mbappe.
Still has to go to Mbappe or even Bellingham with his defensive contribution.
true, but Vinny, he was incredible. Like, that's the type of performance you would expect from a Vinicius Jr. It was really, really good.
I mean, Madrid had come into that match essentially having a lot more to prove because there were rumors already that they were already upset with what Yamal had posted. And it was evident that they had taken that to heart and kind of used that as motivation to kind of hand it to Barca, which they ended up doing,
True.
despite the scoreline being pretty close.
I agree because just I wasn't a fan of the trash talk, especially with how run down our current team is. Like I said, we're missing Rafinha, Lewandowski, and now we're even missing Pedri for the next month and a half, which is an even further blow to our team. I just wasn't a huge fan of it, especially with Yamal just not being on the best of form currently. Yes, he's not fit, but he's not in the best of shape or form right now. So I would have preferred the humble route this time.
Stay
but-
humble. Eh?
No, but I would have preferred the humble route this time at least. But still, Real Madrid deserved this overall. Not a fan of Carvajal. Like I said, as you mentioned before with the trash talk and everything, and if it was split up the Spanish national team, I just think in previous teams, there was just that mutual respect. I just don't think that Danny Carvajal has had that mutual respect just for a while now. Just especially with just all his like trash talking, especially with he seems to be on the decline heavily recently because you got Valverde starting right back now. They recently got Trent. It's just not looking good, especially with 2 back-to-back knee injuries. Quite funny that he got injured after talking trash, but it's just not looking good.
I mean, Carvajal was also known for doing trash talking as well. There was a clip that went pretty viral in the Euros where he and Saka had gotten into some kind of foul, and then you see Carvajal like gesturing back towards him with like wiping away tears or crying, which I feel like it is a little bit hypocritical. Again, it does come into the kind of respect factor because they're both international teammates. I do think that Carvajal was a little bit hypocritical in doing so, but even still, it's like I don't see much of a reason for that to cause a problem with the national team.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I will say about that, all athletes are hypocritical. They all complain about the same. They'll all look one way and be like, oh, this guy's a flopper. And then they'll flop a minute later. They'll all complain about one guy trash talking and then they'll trash talk another guy. You can't take any of this too seriously. But moving on from El Clasico, which was a great game. We had to talk a lot about it. We're going to go on to last week's Premier League games. And do you guys want to figure out how we did on predictions?
Sure.
So it turns out that in total, you guys got 9 points, which may not seem great, but honestly, looking at the way it went, not bad, not bad. But it turns out that I did get a total of 12. So
We need
I
to get
did win
Dylan
this
and
week.
Adrian back on the show, man. They've been
I'd-
nailing it with
I'm
these
so out of
predictions.
all the people I had to lose to, I lost to them. The only time that I got to get revenge. But the total score now is guests have a total of 50. So nice number there. And I have a total of 69 points. So
Nice.
pretty pretty good. Can't complain there. But games overall from the Premier League last week, we'll touch on everything a little bit, but we'll go in more in depth for the bigger games of the week. Leeds did beat West Ham 2-1, which I think I got the exact right prediction for 2-1, yes. And you guys predicted Leeds would beat West Ham. So West Ham's bad form continues. Very poor from them. And Leeds, they've been good at home. So I don't think it's much of a surprise to either of us of why Leeds went to win that game. And we all did predict it. After that, we got a shock being Chelsea losing to Sunderland 2-1 at Chelsea's home.
I mean, we had touched previously on Sunderland being a better quality team than most had expected, but I don't think anybody was expecting Sunderland to come out to Stamford Bridge and come out with 3 points.
You want a quote from yourself?
Which quote?
Sunderland have been very good. However, I will not be the person to say that they're going to win at Stamford Bridge. That's what you said.
Well, again, I didn't expect them to.
No
because
one, not many
Chelsea's
people
quality,
did.
Chelsea has so much depth and talent at those positions to where even if Sunderland's on form, they shouldn't be losing to Sunderland. But again, Sunderland came in and wanted it more.
Well, I mean, the thing with Sunderland is we can say all this and that about, well, you can't be losing to them. They're fourth in the Premier League. A lot of teams have lost to them. So we'll see how Sunderland do for the rest of the season. That's a great win from them. A really good performance as well at Chelsea. And honestly, for Chelsea, it's a pretty big loss at home. You know, those big teams, you don't expect to be losing at home unless it's one of those really, really top side games. So, hey, it's a bad loss for Chelsea. They pretty much do need Cole Palmer to come back. They're missing a bit of creativity there. So we'll see what happens with them. Next, we're going to move on to Newcastle beating Fulham 2-1. I got the perfect score for this as well. And you guys said it'd be a 1-1 draw.
I mean, Fulham, as we mentioned, Fulham's a tough team to play. So I'm just not fully upset with our prediction.
It wasn't a bad prediction.
We were off by 1 goal. Gotta think somewhat positive about it. Fair play to Fulham for fighting it out.
I mean, Fulham's a good team, even though they're low down in the Premier League at the moment, just shows the competitive level of the league currently. But Newcastle, I did think they'd win. It's a good win from them, to be fair. But being at home, I would expect that from them. So, hey, Newcastle, we'll see what their ambitions are for the season. I'm assuming that's some sort of European football. I don't know which level, whether that being the Europa League, maybe even the Champions League, which might be a bit difficult, though. So we'll see how they do this season. Could win another trophy like they did last year. Next, we got one of the bigger games. Manchester United winning 4-2 against Brighton.
Kind of unexpected. I expected United to put up a fight and at least make the game a little closer than it seemed, but overall just a big win for United. Like I said, Anarim seems to finally have got things clicking for them. They're finally burying those chances, especially with the amount of chances they created. They just overall created throughout the past season and a half. It's just they haven't been clinical enough, and it seems like they finally turned a corner.
One signing that I noticed that was kind of huge for them has been Lemons from one of the Belgium teams, which I'm now forgetting. I think it was Bruges. But Lemons for them has looked really, really good, despite the fact that they conceded 2 this game.
And he should have saved the free kick. It was not a good free kick.
True. But even still, with that performance, you've kind of noticed that Man United as a whole have been a little bit more invigorated, I would say, rather than the way that they would play with Onana or Bayandi, or where they were kind of stagnant.
Yeah, I mean, for United, that's 3 wins in a row. Really big for them. And 4 goals, I mean, that's big for them. It's important to score goals for the top sides. It sounds really easy, but it really isn't. I mean, Gabe, you yourself said it's either going to be 0-0 or 1-1. There won't be any goals. Turned out to be 6 goals. Darren, you did predict Danny Welbeck to score, which you are correct with. So, um, congratulations on that. That's a good prediction.
What?
But
Thank you.
honestly, I didn't expect it to be like that type of game. Brighton, I thought were a little bit disappointing. At the same time, it's one of the better United performances I've seen for a good while. Really impressive from them. Really impressive from them. Really disappointing for me. And only 2 more wins in a row for Man United to get the United strand is, I was gonna say inevitable, but it's not inevitable. His much needed haircut. That's what I'll say.
If Spurs is the one to end the United Strand's haircut, it will be legendary.
Yes. Context again, I mentioned every week. The United Strand is a guy on the internet who is waiting for Man United to win 5 wins in a row for him to finally cut his hair. His hair is up to here. So let's see if they eventually can get this by a haircut. Hopefully they don't. Come
We
on,
also
say it.
have Dylan in the chat saying that Man United are still going to make top 4.
No. No.
Dylan did come on 2 weeks ago. Hello, Dylan. Nice to see you. I don't like you. But he did say that Man United would get European football, and the way they're playing at the moment, it seems like a good prediction. So fair play to you, Dylan, for once. It's a good win for United.
They were awestruck by Cunha ending his 0010.
Hey, the thing with, I mean, Cunha's been playing good, so he hasn't scored a goal yet. He finally did, but I don't know. His performances have been better. He's just not putting up stats. So I was never really gonna make fun of him for not having scored that goal because it's different. Certain players, you look at them and they just, well, they've been playing horrible and they haven't done anything. But I feel like that's different for Cunha. And Mbuemo with 2 goals, just showing United signings, they're making a difference this season. On to the next one. And sadly, I didn't get a single point for this one. Even though my prediction was somewhat close, I did say that Liverpool would not beat Brentford. I thought it'd be a tie. However, Liverpool lost. Yay. Things you love to see.
I mean, Liverpool has just been in a free fall for quite a while now, which is really unexpected.
Yeah. I mean, 3-2 loss, conceding 3 goals. Even though that penalty that they conceded, pretty unlucky. Pretty unlucky. I'm not going to lie. Van Dijk kicks the guy, like, right trying to clear it. He does hit the guy, and he gives him a little bit of a push. And it originally gets called as a free kick, which everyone's like, it's not that bad of a call. It's only a free kick. And then VAR checks, and they're like, wait a minute. That's on the line. Like, that's technically a penalty. And they're like, okay. I'm not going to complain. Love to see it. And Liverpool, they're just a shambles defensively. Brentford, they were playing balls in behind, and they were just getting straight at Liverpool. I don't know what's going on. They can't really defend. And even attacking, I didn't think they scored 2 goals, yes. But I didn't think they were creating an awful amount, even though towards the end, they looked like they were going to score an equalizer. If you didn't watch the end to that game, you should go back and watch it. It's an incredible ending. And, I mean, it's a huge win for Brighton, who have only lost 1 game at home this entire season. That's why I predicted they wouldn't lose. And I think that's 4 losses in a row in the Premier League for Liverpool, I think.
Yep. We love to see it. We love to see it.
So let's see if Liverpool are able to get back on winning track. Their next 2 games are Aston Villa at home, which won't be easy. And then they have to go to the Etihad Stadium to play Manchester City. So it's going to be interesting the next couple of weeks for Liverpool. All right, we're going to do a quick little break. We're going to read out I don't even know if the paper's here, but I pretty much know it by now. So if you guys want to do your own show, definitely sign up. Definitely decide to do something with friends. You can choose what type of topic, what type of subject you want to do it on, and go speak to the president of WIUR, Robbie Basil. Sign up. It's very good to do. It's a good experience to have if you want to learn how to talk on camera. It's overall just very enjoyable. So definitely much recommend that you all should do that. Next game we're going to talk about is Bournemouth winning 2-0 at Nottingham Forest, which turns out, fun fact, all 3 of us predicted the right score.
I mean, I feel like most people would have been able to see that coming, so it's not super impressive per se, but again, credit to Bournemouth because they've been playing really well.
That is true. I mean, Bournemouth have been playing really well. Nottingham Forest have not been playing well. So, I mean, using common sense, that kind of Does seem right. But Sean Dyche has come in. Let's see if it takes him a bit of time. He did get a win already for Nottingham Forest in the Europa League, but we'll see if he'll get that first win in the Premier League. It'll probably take a bit of time, but who knows? I think their next game is against Man United, which we will touch on in a bit when we do our predictions. So good win, but it'll take Nottingham Forest time to finally find their feet under Sean Dyche, I'm assuming. Then we got Arsenal beating Crystal Palace 1-0. I think we all predicted Arsenal win. I said 2-0. You guys said 2-1. But both of you did predict as they would score a goal, and he did. He scored the winner.
Yes. Quite funny that he scored it against Palace. He celebrated a bit, nothing too major, but overall just good half volley. There's a clip going around on Twitter saying Gabriel and Saliba were talking about the knockdown before. Not so sure about that one, but overall good goal for Eze.
I mean, Arsenal did not play great throughout most of that game, but they got the dirty work done and they managed to get the goal they needed. So fair play to them for coming out with yet another gritty win.
The thing for Arsenal this season is they don't concede goals. You don't concede a goal. You don't have to create that many chances. You don't got to play great. You just get that one goal. And in a game like this, their defense is so good. You get that one goal, you win. That's as simple as it is. And that's probably why Arsenal will go on to win the Premier League this year.
Glorified Simeone side.
True,
Even
but
though
they
they-
managed to beat that Simeone side 4-0 in the Champions
That was not a
League.
4-0 game.
Yeah,
That
but they
was
were
not
the
a
better
4-0.
side by far. So,
Yes, but Gyökeres, no, that was not a 4-0 game.
yeah. We don't prop Gyökeres here. That's for you, Adrian, if you're watching. All right,
Yes.
he is. Okay, very good. Then we have Aston Villa beating Man City 1-0, which I didn't predict. But if you listen to what I said, I kind of predicted it without saying it. I said Man City haven't won in their last 2 games at Villa Park. And it's going to be really difficult. And we've struggled really much. So pretty much I gave myself all the clues that Man City were going to lose. And then I said that it was only going to be a 1-1 draw because it'd be difficult.
Stay humble, eh?
I didn't say we were going to win technically. And I kind of see this just shows that I'm in tune with what's going to happen. I'm not delusional, unlike some of you people that are watching right now. But yeah, Villa, we struggle against them. They got really good midfield. They packed the midfield. And with Rodri injured and no Nico Gonzalez to start, we struggled a lot. Reinders was playing the holding midfield. It did not work. But even so, we had chances. Holland in the first half went through 1-on-1. And then towards the last couple of minutes, Holland had a goal disallowed for offside where he ran into the pole, got really badly injured, and that could have been an equalizer. So I feel like people are going to overreact about how important this game was. People are like, oh my gosh, City lost again. Obviously, it is important, but I think on the big scale of things that it's more so of a Villa are a good team, City lost, rather than a City are going to be really bad. That's why they lost. That's why I think it is.
I said, unfortunately, I didn't get to see that game. I was watching the more important game in El Clasico, but overall, just as you mentioned, I don't think this is a big issue for City as of right now. It's still very early in the season. We have many games left to play. Arsenal will drop points eventually. City, like I said, you were missing a 6. You guys are injured. It's fine. You guys will bounce back from this.
It's also an away game against a Premier League quality team. Like, it happens. It's nothing to kind of dwell on for too long. Just got to focus on next match.
That is true. All right. Next, we got Wolves losing to Burnley 3-2, which I said some of your quotes that were extremely wrong. My quote from last week was, Burnley are very good at home, but I do not see them winning away from home. And then you guys were like, it could be a blowout. It could be Burnley 3-0. And then you guys were like, no, Burnley won't score 3. So you guys were on the right track, even though they did score 3. But 3-2, Wolves are on horrible form. They look favorites at the moment to be relegated. That's a horrible loss. And it's a huge win for Burnley.
I mean, Wolves just haven't looked good at all.
Nope.
There's really no sugarcoating it. And conceding 3 to Burnley is diabolical work.
It's
heard the man.
just quite funny considering the fact that Wolves literally just extended their coach a couple of weeks ago, rewarding bad behavior. Hopefully, I can get a job like that soon. But it's just they are the favorites to go down. The newly promoted sides look good, and at the moment, it does not look good for Wolves.
It really doesn't. All right. Congratulations to me because we're going to talk about Everton versus Spurs. And I've finally done it. Every week, I failed to name the correct stadium for Everton. I have the name. It's the Hill Dickinson. That's what the name of Everton Stadium is. Finally got it. Congratulations to myself, but not congratulations to Everton because they got their first loss at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, being a 3-0 loss to Tottenham. Wow.
They lost to a defender.
Mickey Van de Ven. Both of you guys predicted that Everton would win this game. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's Everton at home, and they've been on a pretty good streak of form recently. So I'm not going to say that I'm upset by the call. It's just that Spurs had woken up this week.
Not upset by that. Like I said, we didn't expect Van de Ven to become Spurs' best attacker in this game, but arguable, a little controversial with the second Van de Ven goal. You could say he shoved Pickford out of the way, but it's fine. But Spurs looking good. As I mentioned, they needed a Brennan Johnson last week, and they brought him back in the team. Congratulations. He finally beat a man. The first time in months. So,
hey, big up to Brennan Johnson and his likely one fan out there. So, and that was our results for last weekend. We're going to do our predictions for this weekend. Try and do this relatively quickly. We'll see how it goes. First game, we got West Ham at home to Newcastle. Will they finally win a game, West Ham?
I think that we should bet on Newcastle winning.
yeah. You could have just said no.
All right. What's your prediction then?
All right. Newcastle wins. I'd say 1-0.
I'm comfortable with that.
Are they home or away?
They are away.
West Ham is at home.
Yeah, 1-0.
I'm going to go 2-1. I don't know. I really want to say that West Ham are eventually going to win a game because I do rate their manager somewhat. Just don't think it's going to be Newcastle. So I'm not going to say it this week. Maybe next week. Stay tuned. Maybe. So I said 2-1. Next week on Man City at home to Bournemouth. It should be a good game. Bournemouth are a good team.
How? My question is Haaland healthy for that? Because you
Yes.
did say that he ran into the pole. I don't know if he's going to be at 100% capacity, which if he's not, I could
He
see Man
continued
City
to play on
struggling.
after he got hurt by the pole. So
Okay,
he'll be
because I
fine.
didn't see the game, but if he's still operating at full capacity, I think that City should win, just so long as they play Nico Gonzalez at the holding midfielder.
Well, my question going off that is, do you have a healthy six this week? Because
Nico Gonzalez, yeah.
Nico
He will be
Gonzalez is
back.
good again.
We're actually playing right now or soon against Swansea in the cup. Fun fact to you all, Man City have lost their last 3 games against bird teams, meaning if the team has a bird in their badge, we've lost to them. So we're playing Swansea. We're going to break the bird curse right now. See how that goes. But yeah,
I hope
that's
so.
a good time. Yeah,
You should be able to beat Swansea.
I'd hope. I don't know. It's the bird curse, man. But we are resting some players because it is a cup game, which is good. So those players will be able to get to rest, probably come back into the team for this game. I think we're going to win. I think we'll get back on winning track, which is important, but will be a difficult game. I don't know. I'm going to go 2-0. Going to go 2-0. A good win against a really good side, Bournemouth.
I say 2-1 City win.
I think that Bournemouth is good enough to get at least a goal.
Yeah.
So I'm comfortable with the 2-1 as well.
Okay. Next, we got Sunderland. Wait a minute. I just did this in the complete wrong order. It really doesn't matter. We got Sunderland against Everton, which is technically the last game of the weekend. I'll have to just redo this, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. Sunderland at home to Everton.
Sunderland wins. The question is by how many goals?
I'm going to say 2. Everton, I think it's going to be 3-1 in the exact same scoreline that the Spurs game was.
I could see that, especially. Yeah, I agree with your prediction, especially with how bad Beto was last week against Spurs. I could see that.
All right. I'm going to do my prediction. I think it's going to be 2-2. I don't know. Everton, I think they'll bounce back somewhat, but I definitely can't see Sunderland losing at home.
Not without Barry.
Will Barry ever score a goal? This will be the year-long question that we're asking.
With the amount of minutes Beto's getting, probably not.
All right. Now we're on to Brighton at home to Leeds. Leeds got a very good win last week, but I think Brighton, they're definitely going to win this week. Honestly, do I go something kind of outrageous? No. 3-1. 3-1.
I think that it's possible that Brighton becomes disillusioned by their loss to Man U, and you see who are they playing again?
Leeds.
Leeds. I think you could see Leeds maybe sneak a win out here.
Really?
I think it could happen. The question is it likely to happen?
That's up to you, big man.
I think with Okafor being healthy again, that adds a new dimension to Leeds' attack, something they've been missing the past couple weeks. Said you saw Okafor, he came off he only played 45 minutes, but he still got a goal contribution. He's been their best attacker this year. So I could say Brighton's home. I'm going to say 2-2. 2-2 draw.
Interesting. Funny story about Okafor. He was at AC Milan, and how he actually signed for Leeds was AC Milan were playing Leeds in a friendly in Dublin, Ireland, and he saw the Leeds fans, and he was like, wait, this team, they're in the Premier League? He was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind going to them, and that's kind of how it happened. Funny story. But I think, I already predicted.
Yes.
Let's move on. Burnley are at home to Arsenal. Come on, Burnley. We need something, please.
It's going to be
not
an
gonna
Arsenal
happen.
1-0.
I could see that happening again.
No. I don't want to say 1-0 because that's just the same as you guys. So I'm going to say it's 2-0. So radical.
You know what? No, we're going bigger. We're going 3-0 Arsenal.
All right.
We need to get back at this game.
All right. So everyone expects Arsenal to win. Burnley will make it difficult enough. They'll play defensive, but Arsenal just quality level, probably too good for Burnley. Next, we got Crystal Palace at home to Brentford. Palace are good at home. I think they'll be able to beat Brentford. Brentford haven't been great away from home. Even though the last time I said that, they beat West Ham. But it is West Ham. West Ham are just really good at losing currently. So I think Brentford are going to lose. I think Crystal Palace will win this game. I think they win the game by a score. What that score is, you guys will say first because I don't know.
No.
Clip farming to the max, by the way. You can,
first.
yeah, you're going to have to make your prediction
All right.
right now.
Crystal Palace are going to win the game 3-0. Why not?
No.
What do you think then? Because I'm thinking 2.
I'm thinking Crystal Palace wins, but I think it wins 2-1. I think Shada's been on great form. I think he'll just make it a little too difficult on Crystal Palace's back line that, like I said, last week didn't look best, but that's against Arsenal. But Brentford is just that scrappy team that always gets results.
I'm comfortable with saying that 2-1 as well. Adrian had also said earlier in the chat that Shada was his GOAT. So hopefully for him, we'll see if he can level something against Crystal Palace.
All right. Now we got Fulham at home to Wolves. Will Wolves finally win a game?
No.
Or will Fulham win a game after it's been a while?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I think Fulham's going to win this. I think they're going to win. I don't know. Wolves have been horrible defensively. 2-1.
Stole my prediction.
I mean, we can also just say the same thing as him.
You can.
That's true.
Will you?
Do
What
we play safe or do we want to swing for the fences?
It's up to you. I'll let you have this one.
You had said 2-1 to Fulham. I'm going to say 3-0 to Fulham.
Wow. Interesting.
And just
Interesting.
pray that they can do something offensively.
All right. Interesting. Now we got Nottingham Forest are at home to Man United. Sean Dyche.
It's still going to be Man U.
Yeah. I'm going with a 3-1 United win.
3-1 United win. I'm going to do it. Nottingham Forest win. End the United winning streak.
No.
Forest win 2-1. Come on, Dyche.
Well, that
Yes.
should be 3 points for us next week.
I think United will win. I think
They're
Forest.
going to
will-
lose versus Spurs.
Forest will score at least one. Probably just Morgan Gibbs White, who always finds a way to score against United. But I think United is just on a great run of form.
All right. Last 2 games of the week. We got Spurs are at home to Chelsea in what is a pretty big game.
It is a big game.
Big rivalry.
I think with how Chelsea's been performing and the lack of red card last week, I think Spurs wins.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea, you could argue that they're going to bounce back from the loss this weekend, but against Spurs, I highly doubt it.
So what's your score prediction?
2-1 Spurs.
Interesting. I think it's gonna be 1-1. I don't know. I think both teams are good. I don't think either team's great. So I think it's gonna be balanced. 1-1 is my prediction.
Randall scores his first goal.
Randall. Wow,
Right.
what a prediction. You know what? If that's right, I'll give you 1 bonus point if Randall's one of scores.
I mean,
So-
Randall should start.
Write that down.
But Lamani should be getting more minutes, truthfully.
All right, last game of the weekend. Well, not in order, but just based off of how I read it. Liverpool at home to Aston Villa. Will Liverpool finally win in the Premier League?
No.
See, I don't know, because I think that this could be the one where they bounce back. But even still, Villa's on pretty good form.
As Killian mentioned earlier, Villa's midfield is just too strong and too powerful compared to how Liverpool's current midfield is performing. I think they're just going to get run around the park and just. I'm going to predict a 2-1 Villa win.
Now, I'd love that. I love that, but I don't think it's going to happen. Liverpool are back at home. I think they're sadly going to win. I think it's going to be a 3-1. A 3-1 win for Liverpool, which will put an end to their losing run in the Premier League. About time. But we'll see. Either way, I won't be upset if I get the prediction wrong, and I won't be upset if they lose. So we'll see. But that will be the end of our show today. I appreciate all of you guys for watching and for staying tuned. And we will be back next week for episode 8. We got more predictions more than ever. Leave a comment with your own predictions or if you want us to do anything next week or talk about anything. But thank you guys for watching. Much appreciated. Thank you guys for being on the show.
Thank you.
And I'll see you all next week. Peace.